You found yourself on another episode of Locked On Bulls. In today's episode, me and Pat are going to talk about the preseason wrapping up for the Chicago Bulls. We're going to talk about a 20-11 night from Vooch quietly and the biggest surprise from the preseason overall. We're going to get into all that and more right after this. Well, clearly going to have to cut that.
You are Locked On Bulls, your daily podcast on the Chicago Bulls, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Thank you for tuning in to Locked On Bulls, member of the Locked On Podcast Network, where it's your team every single day. That's Pat the Designer, host and creator of the Windy City Breeze and host of the Chicago Bears podcast over at ESPN 1000. I'm Haize, host and creator of Chicago Bulls and Chicago Bears Central YouTube pages and podcasts. And today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook, official sportsbook of Locked On. Make every moment more. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed. Visit FanDuel.com/Locked On. Pat, the Chicago Bulls now have officially wrapped up their preseason, and now we look forward towards the start of the season on Wednesday, which we'll get to that at some point. But in this final preseason game against the Minnesota Timberwolves, the Bulls do lose that game 114-105. What were some of your overall thoughts from this game?
I'm glad that Billy Donovan played the team as long as he did. I know a lot of people were kind of upset about that. Like I said before, you got to hit the ground running. I said that on yesterday's episode of the podcast. I mean, listen, guys didn't shoot well, right? That happens. You're gonna have nights like that. That's fine. To me, it's about seeing guys take the shots, not being afraid to take the shots. 36 3-pointers tonight. Those are the shots I need you guys to be looking to take. Patrick Williams 0 for 7 from the 3-point line. Patrick Williams is probably our best 3-point shooter outside of Zach LaVine on the catch and shoot. DeMar DeRozan 1 for 2. You gave the stat. We need more out of you, DeMar. I need at least 3. When you take at least 3, good percentages. Now 1 for 2 ain't bad, but Vooch, I will talk about him later. 2 for 5. You know what I mean? Guys just weren't knocking down the shot, but they were creating open looks and they were taking the open looks. I like seeing that. Listen, the Bulls aren't going to be a finished product by the end of this preseason, and there's going to be development throughout this season as a whole. But I'm looking at young pieces. I mean, I can get excited about young pieces at the end of this preseason game. I'm excited about some of the young pieces that have been here. Heck, I'm excited about Patrick Williams just taking 12 shots. That starts to get me feeling like, okay, maybe we can move in the right, because he's big enough to knock these mugs down. He's just got to figure out the touch on them. I think he can get there at some point. And heck, I'm excited about Ayo Dosunmu again. A little bit. Just a little bit.
No, hey, listen, it's time to be excited about. Over the course of the preseason, Ayo Dosunmu has averaged right under 10 points per game, 4 and 4.
Yep.
That's solid. Like, Ayo Dosunmu has really, it seems like this bench role has helped him kind of focusing on the things he does well, right? This is what, not to those numbers, but when he was coming off the bench his rookie season, some of his biggest strengths were defense and just the energy he plays with. Ayo seems like a guy who's the game slowed down for him some, and he in this new role, he understands, hey, I just got to work.
Yeah.
And he's working, and he's outworking a lot of the other players out there on the court in this time out there. Started for Zach LaVine today, had a solid night of production today, but like overall in the preseason, Ayo flashed a lot of skill set and things that I think is going to get him on the court. You're going to know coming into the season, I thought it was going to be hard for Ayo to crack that rotation consistently, but with the way that he's been playing through preseason, he's at least shown, hey, he may deserve to get his number called a lot this season.
Well, and I'm not going to lie to you. The part that I love, and you heard Adam Amin kind of allude to it tonight. By the way, Adam, again, Bateam. We're going Bateam on this. Adam Amin's pretty good at that. I'm going Bateam with it. But you heard him allude to it tonight, right, about Ayo Dosunmu looking like the Illinois Ayo. That was when he was on the floor with Javon Carter. Javon Carter handling some of those ball handling duties. Ayo Dosunmu almost getting to be kind of a 2-guard out there a little bit. And listen, he took advantage of it. 6 3-pointers tonight. Knocked down. Was it 6 3-pointers tonight? Hold on, let me go back. for Io? How many
Io took 4. He was 2 of 4 from 3
4
point.
3-pointers tonight. 4 3-pointers tonight, 2 of 4. Very aggressive. To me, aggressive getting to the basket. And doing a better job at creating the contact while trying to finish the layup through the contact and getting himself to the free throw line. I feel like a lot of times last year when we would see Io with a contested, he would try to finesse around him. This year, going right into him. Bulls got to find a way to force fouls, find a way to force free throws. Tonight, they were able to get the advantage on the free throws. And that's going to make a big difference coming into the season. I like what I saw from Ayo Dosunmu throughout preseason. I think that he's going to kind of be that tweener guy that you can ask to do a bunch of different things. Heck, we might even see some 3 from Ayo. He's got the size for it.
I mean, his minute split, he's played a lot at the 3 in preseason already. He's going to play some at the 3 for sure. Now,
hey,
listen,
we can guarantee this and get this out the way. Dalen Terry is not getting
Darius Helen's not getting minutes. Like at this point, we'll talk about that in biggest surprises. But Julian Phillips has absolutely passed up Dalen Terry on the depth chart.
Hey, that man tried to cross him. I said, nah, bro. Hey, Baki, y'all know Baki. Everybody in here know Baki, bro. Baki said, hey, he played like the small forward Cristiano Felicio. I was like, nah. And he did that the very next play. I was like, maybe.
Bro, Julian Phillips plays like the first time you get 2K and you're trying to understand how to use the shot stick because you shoot and dribble and do the crossovers with the same stick. It just looks like he just doesn't know what he's doing. Like he is so uncontrolled rage is what it is out there with Dalen Terry.
Unbridled. That's what it is.
Like you gotta get it together, bro. Like the thing with Dalen Terry is to me is that he plays with no basketball IQ. It's literally just going out there and doing stuff. He's that, look what I can do. Look what I can do.
He literally plays just like the sound effect. Just,
he got to get it together out there, bro. But
why is he screaming? He's got the basketball in his hand. Give him a second. All right, go get the rebound.
But so over this preseason, we know we came into this preseason looking, you already talked about the number of threes, 36 threes. To me, I don't necessarily look at the number. I know you focus on the Bulls getting up more threes. I'm glad that they don't have a reluctance to shoot threes, but you got to take them at the right moment. Yeah. Didn't shoot it amazingly well, 11 of 36 today, but turnovers came down some, 14 turnovers today, 25 assists on overall 35 made baskets isn't bad at all. So, those things are starting to come along for the Bulls as well. Not as many fouls in this game, 20, which is, same amount that the Minnesota Timberwolves had in this one. So, those type of positives coming out of it as well. We got to see some of the team today as well. That trigger, like we've talked about so far, he gets that shot off with no hesitation, bro. No.
And I think that's the craziest thing about it, right? When you see that is the reason that we joke about Dalen Terry, right? Is because when you see Unerlop's game, what's the first name?
Out. Like the
I keep throwing the L in front of the A. Unerlop, when you see his game, right? What they called him? They called him OB. That's what I'm calling him. OB. Yeah. When you see OB's game, smooth. When you see Julian Phillips' game, understands what his game is, athleticism. I'm gonna jump up here, I'm gonna dunk the basketball, pull a 3 if I get a chance to, smooth. That's why we sit here and talk about Dalen Terry. It's like you've been in the league. You didn't played with DeMar. You didn't played in the G League. You didn't played in the NBA, limited time, summer league, all of that. Yeah, that ain't smooth, dog. So, but yeah, I thought that that's the part that changes this season. Games like this change this season, right? If you have Zach LaVine and them in at the end of the game, if they have their starters in at the end of the game, this game probably goes very differently. Or maybe they still come out with a win because we were struggling against their third line unit pretty much with some starters in there. But to me, when I'm looking at who's doing the things that are exciting me in the game, it is the Julian Phillips. It is the Ayo Dosunmus. It is the Kobe Whites. Heck, like I said, I was excited that P. Will was taking shots, being aggressive, right? Tried to dunk on Gobert. Nah, listen, is this the new thing with all our young players, though? None of them can actually dunk on people. They just get up there really high and miss it.
Listen, that Pat missed that dunk. I was like, come on, man. That was your moment, Pat.
Hey, but Lowry used to do that, bro. Like everybody we be getting it, we be like, go get all. Oh, Julian Phillips. Hey,
we're gonna talk about Julian. We're gonna talk about Julian.
Did Vooch get dunked on? What was your vote on that? I said he pushed off a little bit and then tried to get out of the way. I think that's a dunk.
I mean, I guess I can understand that being dunked on, man, but it is what it is. Like Pat in this game, also 5 rebounds from Pat, 1 assist, 1 block. Like I said, like the thing is, I think people use 2 different arguments with Pat. They say aggressive, and then they'll talk about whether the shots went in or not. And I think those are 2 very different. Right now, I just want to see the aggression from Pat. We saw the aggression tonight. I think we can work on the shots going down. Those shots are going to go down. I mean, it's not going to be many nights this season where Pat he goes 0-7 from 3-point range, bro.
Yeah. No,
So,
it's touch, and I can live with you having to refine your touch.
yeah,
I like even right when he hit that little where he got to the mid range. Ain't nothing little about Pat. When he got to the mid range back to the basket, that's crazy. I was hoping we moved past that.
I need you.
That's crazy.
You gotta respect the pause, my guy, bro. Like,
that's insane. Yeah, pause. Jesus.
Hey, listen, I was like, he's gonna say it. There's no way oh no, he's just gonna let that keep riding. Okay.
I thought we knew what we meant. Yeah, but no, when he got down low and hit Buddy with the bump, who he hit? And my man's went flying. Was that number 6, whoever number 6 is? Bumped him, went flying, turn around, pull up. It's just a touch thing. Can he figure out how to get the right touch, the right amount of feel on the shot? That'll come with time. But it doesn't come if you're not gonna practice those shots in the game. And so seeing him actually take those shots in the game does get me excited about what Pat Will can become.
Facts. So next up, we're going to be talking about Vooch's quiet night in which he just quietly dominated. Before we do that, I got to talk to you guys about one of our sponsors, and that is FanDuel. Snap into the action this season with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed when you place a $5 bet. That's $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. If you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get in on the action. That app is super easy to use. There's a wide range of betting options, including spreads, player props, over-unders, and more. So visit FanDuel.com/lockedon and kick off the NFL season. That's FanDuel, official partner of the NFL. All right, Pat. Second game in a row where Vooch just comes out there and he just gets 20 and 10. Tonight it was 21 and 10. And it's just quiet, bro. I really didn't realize. I looked at the stat sheet after the game. I was like, wait a second. He had 21 points. Vooch in this game led the way for the Chicago Bulls, 9 of 15, 2 of 5 from 3-point range, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks, 2 turnovers, and 21 points. That's crazy, bro.
And dog, like the craziest part of all of it is it was mostly in the first half. He had 13 and 6 in the first half, shot 60% from the field. He was 1 for 3 from the 3-point line, and had a block and a steal in it. Like, this is what Vooch was talking about. This is the type of game that Vooch. It didn't feel like Vooch was the number one. It didn't feel like Vooch was the focal point. Now, and think about this too. In a game where Zach LaVine didn't play, it didn't feel like Vooch was the focal point because Vooch was out there looking to create for other guys, but having the ability to go out there, be big, and get his rebounds and putbacks and everything like that. 2 offensive rebounds on the day, starting to break a couple of times, 4 assists, and I would say there was probably 3 more that guys just missed open shots on. He hit Caruso on the wing on one. He threw a dart to P. Will out in the corner, and he smoked one. You know what I mean? Like, those are the things for me. I know I was on the wing and he ended up missing it, but those are the shots to me that Vooch wants to create. He's not sitting here asking the Bulls or Billy Donovan to say, can I be a 25 and 15 guy again?
Yeah.
He understands what his role is. He understands the number 3 on this team. But games like tonight are the nights where I look at Vooch and I say, if y'all don't figure out how to use him, you're never going to figure out how to make this team work. Because to me, he could be a major key to how this Chicago Bulls team takes, I don't want to say a next step, right? But becomes a playoff team, gets through the playoffs, right? Because he draws so much attention in the paint.
Yeah. When Vooch gets rocking and rolling, like it's flawless. It's the effortlessness to his game and smoothness to it that just it makes it fun to watch. But you can forget, especially with all the excitement going on in other places, that Vooch just goes out there and gets it done. And that's the thing that I appreciate about Vooch so much, is that you can bet he's the most consistent player on the team. Like he's been that now for over a year. And so I'm excited for the season that Vooch is going to bring. I think it's going to benefit him a lot too, having more ball movement and players actually cutting. Like, shout out to having a game. The Toronto game was kind of the misnomer in that, but like 4 out of these 5 games, like we've had consistent movement off the ball, and we didn't have that last season. And that's where a player like Vooch, with his ability to also pass, his ability to get the ball in the right places, that's what's going to benefit this team a lot. I'm not saying everything needs to go through Vooch night in and night out, but when you do move around and your pivot points, your big man, and the offense and other players are moving without the ball while he has the ball, I'm telling you, that could be a fun brand of basketball for the Bulls this season.
And it creates, I think the part that the Bulls struggled with last season was creating shots off of the movement. And it's not always about the pass that goes to the cutter. You get Vooch on in the low post and somebody's cutting down, diving down like Torrey Craig did 2 times tonight, and Vooch hits him. Yeah, the defense instantly collapsed on Torrey Craig. One time he got it up. The other time he got under the rim, stopped himself, kicked it out.
He got it up and he got under the rim. Being back-to-back sentences is wild, bro.
I don't know. I might challenge that. I'm gonna challenge that one. I don't know about that one.
In the chat, let us know the challenge. Is the challenge accepted on that one for Pat The Designer?
Challenge that one. Is that a successful challenge? Or is that, here's the thing: does the call stand or is the call confirmed? That's what I need to figure out.
He got it up. He got under the rim, being back to back. I don't know, bro. That's a little questionable there, bro.
That's tough. That's tough right there. It's gonna be a tough season. Hey, I ain't gonna lie to you. After watching the Toronto game, I was like, I'd have never made it through the next 4 years of Grady Dick being on this team, bro. There's no way.
Listen, there's no way. No way in hell, bro. Like, and don't let Lonzo Ball come back either. It's no way, bro.
Oh God, what a connection. But no, I thought Vooch. Yeah, I thought Vooch affects the game at so many different levels, and the movement that the Bulls have based off of where he has the ball, whether it's in the post, high post, under the rim, you know what I mean? Like, seeing the team just moving without the ball in their hands, to me, spoke to that shot chart and the 36 3-pointers and the open looks that you got off of those 3-pointers, right? It's not like, I think the other thing that people think is, right, I just want to see the Bulls, or both of us, right? We just want to see the Bulls take shots. It's not the case. I want to see the Bulls take the open threes. There was so many open threes created from Vooch just being down low that it was good to see them get those looks, because eventually I think we have the shooters that can finally knock those looks down.
For sure. And I agree with you on that one. And I think this is going to be a season where, you know, the growth from this team that they have collectively is going to be the thing to watch, and what makes this season so fun for the Bulls. Because listen, it was preseason, and a lot of times we didn't have a lot of the starters out there in opportunities where we were. A lot of these fourth quarters and things like that, we're talking about third stringers, G League and 2-way contract players out there. So, like, to get this team together, to have them the 9 to 10-man rotation we're going to see night in and night out, I think it's going to be interesting to see how it all comes together. I'm still a little bit concerned about scoring coming off the bench. I will say that, but like, they're going to have to do it collectively, right? We're not going to have that one player that averages like 16 points off the bench. It's going to be all 5 of those bench players coming in, probably getting between 8 and 10 points. And I think that's what you're going to try to look for from this bench. So,
no, 100%. And everybody's going to have a day, right? Yeah. Like, there's going to be the IO moment where he's on fire. Caruso tonight. Now, listen, if you get a day where everybody's hitting it once, that's a great day, right? But you don't have a ton of scoring off. Javon Carter is just scoring off of the bench, basically.
See,
Javon Carter took 4 shots tonight.
Yeah, I mean, he's a shooter, not necessarily a scorer, but he is your scorer off the bench on this team, right?
You know what I mean?
When you look at it, him and I are really the two that you're looking at probably doing more of the scoring. Alex Caruso is a rhythm scorer if you get out in transition, things like that. Torrey Craig can do some of that as well, right? And then you're going to have Drummond in there also, but yeah, those are all guys that can put the ball in the hoop, right? And we know that they can in the right situation scenario. You're just not going to have that one guy. And, you know, that's up to Billy Donovan to find that mix where you're either leaving one of your starters in there with the bench all time. And You can have your game where it's Pat with the bench unit, where it's Vooch with the bench unit, where it's DeMar with the bench unit. And Kobe, like, don't overlook Kobe as well in that. So, that this is going to be, and I said it over on Central on my daily episode today, is that this is going to be one of those seasons where I think Billy Donovan may have to coach the most for the Chicago Bulls this season, with just finding that right group at the right time against the right team.
I agree. And I ain't gonna lie to you. Don't sleep on Julian Phillips.
Oh, we're gonna get into that next, bro. Go ahead and do your ad read so we can get into that.
But hey, I got to do this ad read here because we got to tell you guys about something that actually is very important and very helpful, especially for people that have different medical issues, because you never know when issues are going to arise. You never know what kind of problems things are going to have, supply chain shortages, earthquakes. There's a ton of natural disasters that can come into case, but the Jase case is the perfect thing for you if you have any medical issues. What is it? It's basically a personalized emergency medication kit that contains 5 essential antibiotics that treat the most common and deadly bacterial infections. You can also customize your case and add additional life-saving medications based on your unique needs. That's right. Jase now offers customizability. How you say that word? I've been trying to figure that out.
Right.
Customizability. Okay.
Yeah.
I felt like that was wrong. For your Jase case, with dozens of add-on medications, choose the medications that best fit you and your family's unique needs. Jase is continually working to expand their medication offerings in those recent efforts, and they've added Levarmatin as an option in the Jase case. Buy a gift card for your family as well and your loved ones so that they can get a Jase case of your own. Here's all you have to do. Go to jasemedical.com and enter the code Locked On at checkout for a $20 discount on your order. That promo code is Locked On at jasemedical.com.
All right, we want to remind you guys the Locked On Ultimate Season Preview is here. A 6-episode series with all 30 of our Locked On NBA team shows, from contenders to tankers. We go in depth into the biggest storylines heading into the season. Catch all 6 episodes on Locked On NBA on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. All right, Pat. So I want to end this, right, because we're ending the preseason, ending the week as well, right? We'll be back, next week. But what was the biggest surprise for you coming out of preseason? For me, I'll say the fact that I'm really even higher on Julian Phillips than what I was before. The guy he's gotten better every single preseason game. You see him learning from his mistakes out there. I'm not saying that he's going to come in and get minutes right away. I think it's still going to be a year really spent down in the G League for him, maybe some spot minutes here and there. But I look at it and say this, and I said this over on Central, my post-game show there. Julian Phillips is 6'8", 6'9", Javonte Green, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm with you. Like, he's been... To me, I don't know if he spends a ton of time in the G League just because of the defensive ability. Being 6'8", a guy who, now listen, I don't expect him, right? Like, he is Javonte in the sense of offensively, what do you want him to do? Cut. Yeah. Why? Because he can go up there and get it. Like, just cut. That's all I'm asking you to do every single play. If you get a 3-point shot, maybe knock that down. But for the most part, cut. Defensively, though, to me, he's shown true defensive instincts. He's shown an ability to be able to, 1, track down the ball, 2, be able to help on the offense. We saw that tonight, right? Like when I don't know who it was driving down, ends up picking up the foul on Io, floats the ball up, and you see Julian Phillips come through. Like, the play's not dead. This could be a continuation. This ball didn't hit the rim. I blocked it at the top of the rim. That is freaky to see. The athleticism is crazy, but it's an awareness for me on defense. Seeing him, they only credited him, unless I'm only looking at the first half, they only credited him for 1 block. I thought he had 2 blocks in this game, but seeing him, his awareness, his understanding of where he is on the court and what his athleticism will allow him to do, how far he can reach in this. And I think the other thing is, right, when we saw Julian Phillips get in initially, remember, instantly fouled. I mean, like, he was on the floor a second and a half and he punched somebody in the face. It was like, dog, what are you doing? Like, you're supposed to be a 3-and-D guy. We've seen that get better as preseason has gone on. He's really, cut down on the fouls, and I've been very, very excited about his game, especially as a. Here's the thing: he feels like he could be a role player, and he was taken like this year, and he was taken with the second to last pick in the draft, right?
No, he was taken early in the second, right?
Was he? No, I thought he was late in the second. Wait, I don't remember. I thought he was later in the second. I thought he was kind of like toward.
He was the 35th overall pick in the draft, so it was
That's
early in the second. Yeah,
that's early in the second. Yeah, he feels like he could be a role player right now. I'm not mad at it at all. Now,
yeah, I mean, and keep in mind,
that
Julian
boy
Phillips,
Imani Bates been balling. I ain't gonna lie.
Imani Bates has been balling, but I mean, you gotta look at where he's been balling as well. I think Imani Bates he's been solid, man. Like,
he's been balling in land.
But Julian Phillips, top 10 recruit, I think top 10, 15 recruit coming out of high school. Like, it really, that season in college basketball really did, hurt his stock. Like, I think people forget Julian Phillips was a blue chipper, bro. Like, he has all the potential in the world, still 19 years old. Like, and he's already showing that ability to just understand how and where he can get his off on, and like also like how to use his body correctly in space and things like that. Like, Julian Phillips out there showing a lot of just basketball IQ and intelligence. And as they look to refine that game, listen, I tell you what, be on the lookout to hear Julian Phillips' name. We're probably going to get a lot of Julian Phillips highlights this season.
Oh yeah, I 100% agree. I think my biggest surprise from the preseason, we've kind of touched on it a little bit, but and I don't know if we talked about it a ton here. Kobe White just taking hold of the starting point guard spot and never giving anybody an option to let go. His handle has improved dramatically. And the one part about Kobe's game, and maybe this was just, I don't know, man. I feel like the hair gives him a lot of length. Like, when you look at him on the court, you're like, okay, he's taller because of it. But bro, like, Kobe White is a really good rebounder.
Yeah, I mean, at 6'5", 6'6", he should be. Like,
Patrick Williams is 6'9", and he struggled to get 4 on a consistent basis, bro. Like, I don't know.
Patrick Williams is a unique case. We all know that.
You know what I mean? But no, like, he's a really good rebounder. I think that he pushes the ball well. I saw him. To me, he's finally gotten NBA control of his speed. What I mean by that is, if y'all remember De'Aaron Fox, his rookie year, De'Aaron Fox used to blow past the rim, just doing dumb stuff, right? He just full speed. I'm under. Oh God, here we go. Right, like, now to me, Kobe has perfect control of how fast he needs to be at all time. Watching him, at least in this preseason game, his stop and go now is so much more elite. His ball handling with his speed is so much better. I think that was the other thing. Like, Kobe, remember Kobe's rookie year, he would give us these passes that we'd be like, how the heck did he just throw that?
Yeah.
He's still got that, but now he's got that stop and go ability. He's got the court vision. He understands where I love what we saw from Kobe White out of this preseason. I love the fact that, I mean, like, they basically gave him the first game and they were like, oh, he can play. All right, keep giving him the ball. I had to, that was crazy.
See, look, you got you thinking out here.
Crazy. I stopped myself, but with the understanding that was gonna be crazy.
Hey, that's crazy. Oh, that's funny. But yeah, I agree with all those takes in Julian Phillips. I don't want to overblow it or anything like that. Like, it's still preseason. He's in there playing against second and third stringers, but that's what he's going to play against. At least if he does get minutes, it's going to be against those second stringers. And so I like a lot of what we've seen from Julian Phillips over this preseason. And him, OB, they're going to be really exciting to watch. And I know you said you don't think that Julian's necessarily going to spend a lot of time in the G League. I still do think that he will, especially because they have the ability to send him out there. But he's going to be pulling a lot of double duty nights. It's going to be those nights where if they're in Chicago, he may play for the Windy City Bulls that night, and then go ahead and come over and play for the Bulls as well the next day.
Well, I also think there might not be a spot with him because Dalen Terry is going to be a starter down there.
Oh yeah, Dalen. Listen, I mean, he needs to start every game, every second down there to get all the reps he can, because that new player development department, they
got their work cut out for them with him, bro. Hey, that Terry two-time connection about to be crazy. You got Terry Taylor and Dalen Terry down there. They about to be elite in the NBA G League.
Listen, Dalen Terry and Marco built up a nice chemistry in the pick and roll. Adama Snago and Dalen Terry may be the connection we're looking at a lot down there.
Love, y'all know I love Adama Sanago's game, bro. He an old school super undersized big. Like, how you an old school big and you like 6'5"? But I love the fact that even with that, right? Like, they go out and they get Derek Favors, teach him how to do the things you did for 16 points a game. That's what I want to see. Hey, man, we appreciate y'all for showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. You can follow me on everything at Pat the Designer. You can follow us both on everything at Locked On Bulls. Appreciate y'all for showing love.
Absolutely, man. You guys can follow me at CEO Haize. And thank you guys for tuning in to Locked On Bulls. We are free and available on every podcasting app and platform of your choice, as well as YouTube. For Pat the Designer, I'm Haize. It's been Locked On Bulls, and we out here, y'all. Peace.
Peace.